5 years old, like sneaking into the studio, like across the hall from me, like, cause when I was growing up, I kid you not, probably almost every house we had, the studio's right there, so easy access to sneak in. And I was short as hell, so like you ain't gonna see me,
right?
Especially with everybody in the you ain't see me. So like I always snuck in and like was like, yo, this is like dope, like. How can I get a Walmart? Feel me?
Right.
And like, I remember like when I was younger, like trying to spit in front of the mirror, like yo, this could possibly be this could probably be me one day. But I ain't gonna hold you. Like I felt like I wanted football more. So that that ended. Then look where I'm at now. Feel me?
Right.
So.
All right, welcome to Envision Podcasting, you guys. So what he was talking about, what he was in the middle of talking about, he was talking about how his dad was actually a producer. So let me introduce my guest over here, Konnoisseur Kev0o, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. How we doing, bro?
I'm alright, bro. How are you, man?
Chilling, man, chilling. I appreciate you for being on this podcast, bro.
Bro, I appreciate you having me, man. This means a lot. This means a world.
No problem, man. So let's talk about, like, what you're doing and like where you are in music, what you put out, stuff like that. What did you start, because you started in 2016, 2017. When you started making music, was it always hip hop or was it like R&B as well? Did you just kind of play around a lot?
Like I could sing too, like so it's all like a mixture of both, but it's mainly hip hop. I mean, like that's what I grew up listening to. Like even like I went to my grandparents' house and all that, and they listened to rock and roll. So like I have that type of vibe to me too as well. Like when you listen to Konnoisseur Kev0o, I start off with fire. That's you hear the guitars and all that shit. Feel me?
Right.
Like it's a huge inspiration. Like so, yeah. Like it's
the guitars, like more of like the acoustic type music.
Like I like all type of strings. Like I like the rock shit. Like
heavy metal, like that.
Like, nah, I wouldn't say like that. Like, but I got respect for all type of music. Feel me? Like I always see like a different perspective in anything. So like. I'm open to music, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not hating on that shit.
What about country?
You gotta know when to go. I know all that shit. Come on, man. Like I know all that shit, bro.
I was outside on a horse, right?
So I'm not hating on that shit. Like it's all it make you feel good. It make you feel good. So I'm not hating.
Right. No, I agree. I think that all music is made for a reason. Although country, you know, for me, my stepdad used to be a big country guy. Maybe I grew up with it too much. The only person I liked who was kind of country was like Carrie Underwood.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She wasn't bad, bro. Like she had a good voice and shit like that. But that's all I really liked. But then after that, like when I got into high school, you probably got into hip hop a little bit earlier than high school.
Shit, I got into hip hop when I was able to fucking walk and
really?
That shit. I ain't even trying to be funny.
So is that what your dad was producing primarily?
Yeah, he was producing hip hop, gangster music, like. So like I remember when I was younger, like looking through the CDs on you know how back in the day when we were younger they had CD stacks.
Yeah.
I remember rummaging through the CD stacks, looking at all of the CDs, like yo, this is a fire CD, and then like busting open the hard plastic, the covers and shit, and like taking the artwork out and looking at everything, like looking through the booklets, like yo, this is fire. Like for example, like I remember there's fucking alright, Encore. I remember that album when we had the CD and shit, and I'm looking at the CD and everything, the booklets and all that. Like it was art to me. Like I was like always intrigued into that. Like so, like I always kept that around. Like I used to hang that stuff on the wall. Like I had pictures of hip hop everywhere on my wall. Like I had albums on my wall, all that stuff. So
right.
It was just in me. Feel me?
Were you more of a Tupac or Biggie fan?
I like both. Don't get me wrong. Like there's a couple songs I like from both. But like if I really like be like, who do I listen to more? I gotta say Big.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for music because I feel like when hip hop was coming up, Tupac was more of the face, but Biggie was more of the music. If that makes sense.
I get
like,
that. I can understand
like
that.
he led a lot of the hip hop, like this should be out, this is good music kind of thing, and Biggie was more of making that quality of music that people were listening to that brought people in.
Rest in peace to both of them. I wish they were still here to see what they would accomplish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
This how long? 20. I'm 26. So Big died in 97. Pac died in 96. So 26, 27 years.
Yeah, it
was
only.
That would have been a lot of accomplishments between both of them. Like
that's crazy because it was only 6 months apart, and I was actually, what's so funny? Because I've been a hip hop fan since about senior year for me, so about like 2000. 2020. And one thing I noticed is when I started getting more into hip hop, because before then I was into more like rock and stuff like that, a little bit of hip hop, but nothing crazy. But when I started listening to hip hop, that was around the time that Juice WRLD died, and then Pop Smoke died right after, and it was just like one after the other, after the other, after the other. I feel like there was like, and so I was thinking earlier, there was like a season of that. That hasn't happened as much now, or maybe it's not as publicized now, to bigger artists.
Oh, there's a lot of artists that passed away recently that like motherfuckers don't talk about. Like for example, Fred the Godson. He passed away from COVID.
Fred the Godson?
Fred the Godson. He's from the Bronx. He's not like mainstream, you know what I'm saying? But he's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like if you go to New York and mention his name, oh yeah, he's ill, like you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna be like, he's nice, you know what I'm saying? Like he passed away during COVID, I wanna say 2019.
Right.
Yeah, like there's mad people that pass away within this shit. So like it's crazy now. Like it's not as wild, but like it's crazier than it was back in the day.
Right. Well, especially with how like publicized it's become, but at the same time too, I just personally from listening to it, I think hip hop is probably the best genre of music. You know what I mean? In general, when it just comes to raw, authenticity, you know, you can't really. Everyone hears music differently. I get that. Everyone has a different song that speaks to them, and I have some that are outside of hip hop. But if I'm thinking of primary ones, they're inside of the world of hip hop. You know? What I mean?
Like all right. So this is how I see hip hop now. You see how rock was back in the day, where it was everything. Like you'd see the Rolling Stones, you'd see Black Sabbath, you'd see all these other rock stars go everywhere in the world. That's what hip hop is now, and that's what it's becoming. You know what I'm saying? It's only been 50 years. You know what I'm saying? So imagine another 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you think is missing in the world of hip hop today?
Honestly, you ask me, I feel like everybody trying to be something that they're not. Like you either too gangster or you too like you trying to do the most to be heard or listened. You know what I'm saying? Like just be yourself at the end of the day. Like I don't try to be gangster or anything like that. It's just where I've been or where I'm from. Like you know what I'm saying? So like I just spit it how I see it. Like and don't get me wrong. Yeah, sometimes the way I spit sometimes it might come off rough, but I mean shit. That's just how the message might have to come across sometimes. So
well, that's authentic, and you just said that. That's what a lot of hip hop is missing, and I agree with you. You know, that authenticity. So is that how you like play the game when you think about making music? Is like, what is at my core that's kind of bothering me, or what's at my core that makes me happy? What message do I want to put out there?
Like I just try to stay in my own lane with it. Like I try to be me 24/7 with it. Like you probably heard the album. Like I'm not trying to glorify anything, but this is just what it is. Like for example, Landmine. Like I said, whenever we talk, I'm looking you right in your damn eyes. Like I'm not playing. Like this is real. Like what we handling businesses is for real. Like so it's just
like principles that you have that you.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, because like you said, you're raw and authentic to who you know what I mean, are with the music that you put out there. So talk about why you started music instead, like after the football, after you decided to quit football in junior year, right? And then after that you were like music time, or was there like a process in between?
I mean, yeah, because, like, I ain't going to hold you. There was, like, times where I was like, yo, I kind of want to go back into this shit. Like, I want to go back to football. But then it was like, man, fuck this shit. I don't want to do this shit no more. So then, like, it was just, I sat down for a moment. I was like, yo, you got to choose. Either do this or go get a job and do what you want to do for money and shit, like, and handle yourself. So I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just going to go do that. So I went and got myself a job, some money and shit, and I'm here now. Like, and I ain't gonna hold you, like, I used to be, like, you know how niggas be in the sessions smoking and shit, and you know how motherfuckers be freestyling and shit. I'm the type of motherfucker that I'm not gonna say nothing. I sit there and observe. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've always been that type of person to sit there and watch. If I want to learn how to do something, I'm gonna sit there and watch, do my research and shit. So, like, I always heard motherfuckers freestyling, and I was like, all right, one day I did this shit. I was like, all right, this is cool. I wrote a couple things, you know, showed a couple people, and then I actually did my first song in 2018. 2016, I want to say. September 2016.
Mm.
So it wasn't like too far.
What was your first song called?
Shit. Written or recorded?
Written.
I don't remember, bro. I don't know. I don't even think I.
You can go back and do the research.
I don't think I even like titled it. I just wrote it as a freestyle one day. The funny thing about it, it was a D-Lo beat. Whoever listens to A Boogie and all them niggas back in the day, if you know anything, D-Lo was like their producer kind of, you know what I'm saying? So
okay.
I was trying to get that beat, but he was like, nah, bro, I sold it already. So I was like, I'm just still gonna write to it because I got something to it. So I wrote to it, and I don't remember the name of it. I had a couple songs that was like that, bro.
Right.
I had, I think my first ever song was called No Limit Stoners, if I'm correct. And then after that, I think I did Oh Lord, I'm Praying.
Mm-hmm.
And this is all on SoundCloud. It's all on SoundCloud if you guys want to go check it out. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think those are the first two songs I dropped. I'm not sure. But yeah.
Well, no, because that's interesting. Like, you go back to, where you started and how you've evolved since. Like, you look back on those songs, did you just start freestyling when you put music out, or did you start?
Oh, no, I was actually, like, writing this shit. Like, I wasn't sitting there like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna just hop in the booth and freestyle this. Nah.
Are you good at freestyling?
Now, I wouldn't say it's freestyling to me. Like, you know how Jay-Z, like, I kind of, like, watched... I peeped how Jay-Z be sitting there formulating this shit, like, so I like kind of like started doing that kind of because, but I do it in my own way. Like I'll either like listen to the beat ignorantly until like it's stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'll just be like, I can do this in my head real quick.
Right. Throw a couple ones in there.
Alright, so when it comes to like harmonizing songs and shit like that, I can do that no problem. Like I got a song coming out called Serious, and I did that shit throughout the whole track, like no writing.
Really?
Yeah. My next song that's coming out next Friday, Headstrong, I freestyled the whole second verse.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like, I wouldn't say it's freestyling. No, I actually sit there and formulate it in my head. Like, I'm sitting there for a second, like, yo, bro, hold up, let me think of this real quick. All right, let me try and get it together. I'll put it in the mic. But it's the same flow, but it's not really wording, you know what I'm saying? It's probably like mumbling a couple words, and then I'm formulating it like, and it all came together, like, so, yeah.
So, like, when you freestyle, because, like, you see some rappers now get into the booth and just try to freestyle and just kind of jump into it.
Yeah.
Is there, like, a preparation period for you? Like, I'm going to go freestyle, like, tomorrow at, like, 11 in the morning.
Oh,
no. Or do you just kind of get to the booth and you're like, okay, I'm kind of feeling it, and you get in there?
I treat this rap shit like it's football. Don't get me wrong, like
that's interesting.
Like when it comes to practice, you got your drills, you got your calisthenic stretches and all that shit. Like when it comes to recording and whatnot, I feel like that's like your drills. You know what I'm saying? Like
you got a routine.
Like your ankle tackling drills, your nutcrackers and all that shit. Like I'll actually sit there and work it. Like if I feel like I fucked up, no, you got to do that shit over. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Push yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more so of having that discipline.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's the one thing I took out of football: discipline. Like you gotta actually if you want this shit, if you want anything in life, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta go get it yourself. Like there's no dependent on nothing. It's more so if you want it, it's on your time. When you get it, is when you get it. Right. So good luck to it.
Right. I think and discipline takes you way further than motivation does. As you know, in football, you're physically exhausted and mentally exhausted, and you played for what 6-7 years?
I played since I was 7 years old. I stopped when I was 17.
So 10 years. Mm-hmm. So you know about like the physical, like you have to push yourself mentally. A lot of people are looking for that motivation to kind of start, and that's what a lot of this is built around. Having people like you on who, rose above circumstances and set your own standards on how you want to live your life, which is how everyone should live. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to rely on some company to give you a retirement for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but like people settle into that life because they feel like they're not capable of anymore. You know?
Yeah, man.
And I like that people like you come onto this podcast and talk about what you're putting out and how you're growing your brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So let's talk about that. How have you developed your brand over the last Well, 7 years, 6, 7 years now.
Well, honestly, I stay true to myself. You know what I'm saying? So like, whoever rocks with me is who really rocks with me. You know what I'm saying? And who don't is who don't. But you know, sooner or later, motherfuckers going, you know, join along. You know what I'm saying? And be, oh yeah, bro, I fuck with that. You did it, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all love at the end of the day. I'm not mad at anything.
Right.
So it's just a process. I trust it. So.
Do you think that were there any like dipping periods in that 7 years where you went a couple months without putting out music?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was mad times, but it wasn't like I wasn't doing anything. Feel me? It was more so like, oh yeah, I'm still putting like content out. I'm still promoting shit. I'm still doing like shows and whatnot.
Right.
Like,
Well, I mean, so more like you working on the music itself, right?
I mean, not really. I mean, probably in the process when like I was trying to like get a new job and whatnot. But besides that, not really, bro.
Right.
Like I try to stay consistent in the studio.
Right. Well, you've been doing it for 6, 7 years, so it's like you have that regular like attendance. You know what I mean? A lot of people, they be taking like 11 months at a time to try to go back. Do you think that there's like a people call it ring rust, but like rap rust kind of deal? Like,
what you mean by that?
Well, like let's just say you stopped rapping for like a year or two. Could you go back and be the same, like immediately? Do you think? It's a funny thought.
That's funny. Yeah. That's a funny question. I think honestly, it's like riding a bike. I think you got it once you get it. So,
really?
Yeah.
You got those reflexes. You just go back. I think
you might not be as sharp as you was before, but I think you still got some. I think you still got some edge in your sword. Feel me?
What do you like about do you like Lil Wayne?
I love Lil Wayne. I remember when I was a little kid screaming his fucking lyrics in my bedroom, bumping that shit on the stereo. Like my mom looking at me crazy.
Yeah.
So
you're like, it's the Carter 3 stuff.
It wasn't even a Carter 3. It was what song was it back in the day? More fucking
what was the Carter?
Pop bottles. Love is so soft. Like it was all those type of songs. Like so. Yeah, man.
He's one of those guys. He's like, you wouldn't imagine he's 41, 42, but he just gets better every year, kind of.
He's the definition of longevity.
Yeah.
Like, he started this when he was 9. You got what? He was 9. 9 years old.
32 years is crazy.
What? That is wild.
Do you remember that song that came out recently, Brand New?
Ride Around the City in a brand new week. Brand new car.
Yeah.
Brand new. Yo, me and my cousin, shout out my cousin Pop, man. Me and him used to bump that shit. Bump that shit on Woody Air all the time when I used to come to his crib. And I used to be mad because his radio system was better than mine. He had the light up speakers in his fucking dresser, bro. I was like, how'd you get this? He was like, chill, cuz I got it like that. I was like, damn, bro. I see my system. He said, it's good, but it's not better than mine. I said, motherfucker. Like, yo, we used to bump him all the time, especially when him and Joel Santana came out together. I don't know if you heard "I Can't Feel My Face" and all that shit.
No, I've never actually.
That mixtape is crazy. That was like 2008, 2009.
Oh, okay. So that was because Lil Wayne put out his first album. I think it was 19 or something like that. That was the Carter or something.
Yeah,
like that.
That was I think he got another album before that, if I'm correct.
Maybe a couple more before that. Actually.
Yeah. He got albums.
Well, you said longevity. What about Eminem?
Because that's like probably one of my favorite MCs, bro. That's
yes, sir.
Down, bro. Like, all right, we gotta put it like this. When it comes to him, I honestly feel like there's really nobody that could fuck with him. Like, and the crazy thing about it, he's really in his own lane. Like, I really respect that from him. Like, and there's just so much. So I'm just gonna keep this short and simple. That he's the illest, bro.
No, dude, I could talk to you about Eminem for like an hour, bro, because he was a big inspiration for me. So I guess when I started listening to hip hop in 2017, Eminem was always an artist I listened to, but I didn't look at him as just simply a rapper. He was everything in a lot of ways. Like he came out with that weird like I'm not afraid stuff, which was okay. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what you're doing,
but you can't sleep on that shit. That he was spitting like he was back like Like man,
he went through that, but like when he started putting out like the Kamikaze album and stuff like that, that's when I started to see like a lot of the old Eminem, outspoken Eminem come back, you know? Because I know he was battling addiction for a while, but once he overcame that shit, it was like he came back more refined and just better, you know?
Bro, listen,
First Marshall Mathers LP was crazy.
You like that? All right, I like that album, but like, I like the Slim Shady LP. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
That's the first album. Like, I like that shit because like there's so many bars in that shit that I'm still trying to figure out now. Like, oh my god, Rock Bottom's crazy. But I honestly feel like Still Don't Give a Fuck is better than Just Don't Give a Fuck. You ask me, bro.
Right.
Like the word patterns, all that shit, bro, is crazy. And then like you gotta think about all his singles in between the album. Like he got a song with Missy.
I didn't even know that.
He got a song with Missy.
Really?
Yeah. And
you told me that like you just found that out too, did you?
Nah, I ain't find that out. I know. I'm just still ecstatic to the fact that he got a song with Missy. Like,
so
and he said it in one of his songs. He said something about Missy. He did a song with Missy.
Get Dissy or something like
that. Yeah, I was
like,
okay. I didn't believe it, and then I actually listened. I was like, oh, he actually does. And then it's a freestyle that he did in '97, in New York. Actually, I seen the video. I was like, oh, this is fire.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, speaking of like other artists would never want to like even touch him because lyrically they would get demolished. You know what I mean? Like most people who try to come out at him, like even with his Doomsday Part 2 song that he dropped.
You know that's a flip of Role Models, right? The beat.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no Role Models by J. Cole.
No, Role Models, his song.
Oh, his song.
Don't you want a girl to be just like me? Yeah, that song right there, that beat is flipped to be Doomsday.
I'm trying to think of the song. I'd have to hear it. But
when you do it, when we finish up with this podcast, listen to it. You'll hear it.
But I was gonna say on that he like lit Benzino up. Like he called him the opposite of a giraffe, and I was crying.
Yeah, man. he still got it, man. Like
52.
Can't sleep on it.
Yes, sir. So you're 26 now. How do you compare yourself to like how you were rapping when you were like more like 22, 23, like earlier on, like 3 or 4 years ago? What's different about you now?
I'm more like I could say I'm wiser than I was before. Like I feel like I still have I feel like I was wise back then, but not as wise as like I said I was. Feel me?
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was still learning, but like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm actually I'm where I want. All right, let me rephrase this. I'm where I want to be wiseness now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can't really be mad about that. I'm where I'm at now. So. Yeah.
Right. Music wise, do you think like lyrically you've gotten better over the last few years?
Of course, I definitely feel like I got better over the couple of years, man. Oh my god.
How long does that like last? Like, do you look at music even like? Because some artists are like really really critical in that sense. Like they'll look at music that they made like 6 months ago and be like, "What was I talking about?"
Yeah, I'm like that too. But like at the end of the day, I got that thing in the back of my head, like, yo, you gotta believe in yourself.
Yes, sir.
Nobody does. If you don't believe in yourself, who the fuck else is gonna do it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I'll be listening to tracks like. There's certain tracks that I'll be listening to on like my past projects and shit, and I'll be like, yo, I'm not a fan of this. Like, I gotta change this. I'll be cringing and shit, but like,
right.
At the end of the day, like, you just gotta be like, yo, believe in it.
Right.
For me, because that's what's gonna keep you pushing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Believe in yourself.
Right, and it's funny too because like when you do things to be consistent, you start believing, you know, in your ability to do it, especially when you get good reception. You know what I mean? When people are commenting on the product that you're putting out and they're like, oh, this is really good, like you start to build anticipation. There's a concept that I was reading about because I read like a lot of like psychology kind of like cool books like that because I just like the psyche of the brain and stuff. But there's this concept where basically in life people either rapidly get better and better or they get worse and worse, but it's at the same rate. Does that make sense? So let's just say you fuck up and you start drinking like crazy, and then you drink one night, two nights turns into 7. Your life is rapidly decreasing. You stop going to the studio, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Say you put out a song, everyone loves it, and you get good reception. You put out another song, it goes even harder, people love it even more. You step up the ladder, but those happen at the same time. I thought that was interesting because you see a lot of musicians kind of go through that dipping period and then that huge spike, you know, but you kind of stay consistent and spike up, you know. You don't really have that dip because
I'm trying to, man. Like, I got a song where I say came from the bottom, but know where I'm going, my nigga. I'm never plateauing. Like, and what I mean by that is like I'm consistently working. Like, there's nothing stagnant about what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't see me doing anything on the internet, just know I'm working behind the scenes. Like, I'm writing, I'm listening to beats, or me and Flo are together working on beats, recording. Shout out to my brother Flo, man. And yeah, it's just more so I like to be more hands-on and I focus on what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person to flash and boast and all that shit. Like, when you see me post on Instagram, it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? You see me post on my story, it's for a reason. Or you see me on Facebook, or you see me on live doing reviews on weed, it's for a reason. Feel me? I'm not there for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving you something. Like, I'm gonna teach you something. Feel me?
Off that note, what song are you most proud of? What song do you like the most from yourself? What's your favorite song? Or one of your favorites?
All my music or off this album that I just dropped? The Konnoisseur album. All my music? Shit. Oh my god.
And then off the album, yeah.
That's hard. I got a lot of songs. Like, I like the ones where I'm really like spitting. Like, for example, like Paid Away, Time Now, Stoners Interludes, the Stoners Interlude 2 off the Konnoisseur Kev0o album. Like, shit like that. I like the real hip hop stuff, like where motherfuckers could really listen and hear the bars, like, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that I like doing.
Did Stoner, because I actually heard Stoner Interlude. I was listening to that song before I saw you when I came back. Was that the song where you kind of like popped a little bit, like popped off, like took off a little bit? People started listening to you more? Because that was earlier on, but I feel like that was like the big hit earlier on, based on...
If you'd like to say that, I mean, I would say off that, or we talking about like in that going into Konnoisseur Kev0o, or are we just talking about like in general?
Konnoisseur Kev0o.
Okay, so yeah, that was actually probably something. I'm trying to think of everything in the midst of that. Yeah, I want to say that was like the first actual thing we actually promoted somewhat of. So yeah, you could say that actually, yeah. And then after that, I would say we did, what we do? We did. I'm trying to think what else would we drop off the album like that. Damn. Oh wait, yeah, we also did the we mashed into Manifest, so we had a couple tracks in between that. So we had Came Up and we had Reloaded up there. So people from before was listening to that, and we was promoting those like crazy too. So yeah.
For this album that you just dropped, how long have you been working on it?
We worked on this we dropped Fresh Pack 2022, right, bro? Yeah, so 2022, we started working on it, and because I had like, I want to say about like 26 tracks altogether recorded for the album.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah. So we broke it down into like 2 projects. So we had Manifest, and then we had Fresh Pack before that too, which was me and Doobie's album.
Okay, so Fresh Pack, Manifest,
and then Konnoisseur Kev0o.
And then Konnoisseur Kev0o.
Yeah.
Got you.
So it took about like you want to be technical, almost like a year, almost. I wouldn't say like a full year, almost probably like 10 months.
What was Manifest about?
Manifest is more so like just a short EP of like just trying to manifest what I wanted in my head.
Right, and then the complete was
Konnoisseur Kev0o.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was more so just to give everybody something to see where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Because like I know after we dropped Fresh Pack in, I want to say like September or August. I want to say September or August, and it was like a couple months in between. I dropped the Rolling Stone actually. If you listen to Rolling Stone, it's the who fucking was it? It was Painted Black by the Rolling Stones. I sampled them.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like slowed or the normal?
We sped it up and changed the pitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, listen to that, bro.
That's fire, bro.
Yeah, man.
So that was what was that, right after?
That was right after Fresh Back, and we put Rolling Stone on Manifest as well.
Damn, bro.
So we got a video on for that as well, and we got a mic video for it as well.
So for shooting videos, how often, like, when do you determine that like a song needs a video shot? Like, how do you go about that process? Or do you like think about like the song as a video first?
I try to do both, but like I really try to focus on I try to focus on one thing before I try to focus on too many things, because that's when I feel like I'll be more like scatterbrained. I don't want that. I want to be more focused on handling one thing, then we'll handle the next thing, and then we'll complete the whole thing. Feel me?
Right.
So step by step, like for example, when we did Rolling Stone, it was a single, so I was like, yeah, this is getting real good reception. Like we were promoting it like crazy. And I was like, yo, bro, let's do the video.
Right.
And we did the video. But like if it comes to like album wise, it's all on like how everything sounds. You know what I'm saying? So like we did the interlude, and I wanted to do something that was actually like rappy, like spitting bars and shit, so I did that. And yeah.
What was the first music video you put out?
Very first?
Yeah.
Just Like That.
Just Like That?
Yeah. Oh no, actually no, it wasn't. It was organic actually. It was organic. We did
what year was that?
2019?
Oh,
right.
okay.
2019. Probably before 2019. Yeah, 2019, if I'm correct. So
there was a 2 or 3 year period where you
Yeah.
were making music without any videos, guys.
any videos, just promoting on Instagram and shit, shows and whatnot, but no videos. First video was actually organic, yeah, man.
What was that video about? Little spoiler. I mean, it's 5 years old, but still, a little spoiler.
It was more so about like organic is about like making sure everything in your life is like not forced. It's more so give it the hook is like give it time. You know what I'm saying? So like don't force nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like when it all falls down, my nigga, make sure you at your pace. You know what I'm saying? Don't force nothing. At least me, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the type of person to force anything. I'm more so of an organic person. Like I like shit happen off vibes, off rip, you know what I'm saying? Like so yeah.
Yeah. No, that's interesting because I like how you were talking about it is all about how you like get into the videography world, because I also saw that you had the clothing brand that's coming out.
Yeah,
too.
man.
So
Never Lose Sanity.
Yeah, Never Lose Sanity. That's what it's called.
Sir, Never Lose Sanity.
Why did you determine that for the name?
Back in the day, it was called No Limit Stoners. As you can see, like I love weed. I got like 5 jars on the table, 5 different strains. So I named it Never Lose Sanity because in this world, I feel like your sanity is probably like the most important thing. Like, because for me personally, I feel like if I'm not sane, I feel like you're not gonna be moving right. You're not gonna be choosing anything right. So always in the back of my head, never lose sanity. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just feel like it could be something worldwide.
Right.
So.
Do you separate that from your music, or do you kind of bring them both together?
No, I integrate it. I always integrate in NLS.
Good.
I always say NLS.
Some people run separate businesses, and that. I mean, it's not.
No.
It's like having 2 jobs. You know.
I can see that.
You know,
but
it's like you're doing 2 separate things, and you want to kind of, if you integrate, you can focus on both and how you can build your brand up. Wait, so that's why I was asking about the video, like videography world, and getting into that more. Like, how many songs did you drop for this album that have videos?
I'm trying to think. I want to say, if we're including mic videos, I want to say 4 or 5. So I didn't do as much as I wanted to, but that's on me. Next album, we gonna definitely turn it up with videos and whatnot. Trust.
Is it hard to like shoot a music video, or what's the hardest?
Well, though I'm just actually trying to learn myself, like how to I always watch a lot of videos, so like I'm just trying to learn like what would I want in my videos. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm always doing homework on that. Like I could say one video I like a lot recently that I've been watching is Nat by Eminem, because it's the lyrical lemonade shit. So like you see the shots and shit, and I like who else videos I've been watching? Shorty album music videos. His shit is crazy.
Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty. He's from Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah, he's ill. Like, I've been watching a lot of old school videos, like Nori and all that shit. Just like all shit, also like shit from my childhood too, like G Unit videos, like Popping Them Things video. Like that's probably one of my favorite G Unit videos because like it's not more so them just spitting in this shit. It's more so like you see a movie in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you see the captions and whatnot and see them talking in between. Like it kind of reminds me of some mob shit. So, like that's why I like it. You know what I'm saying? So shit like that. I'm trying to put it all together to make it how I would want to see me. You know what I'm saying?
Do you watch videos on like shooting videos? Is it just you and Flo shooting the film, or like do you have like a
more so?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you like do it out? Like what videos have you done outside?
Recently, Don't Blow My High. Yeah, I forgot. I low-key forgot all about that video. Go tune into Don't Blow My High. That video was fire.
Oh yeah, actually, I listened to the song, but I didn't actually see the video.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, the video was fun. The video was fire. Like, go look into that shit. That shit was cool, man.
What was the like when you're outside and you're filming? Do you have any like scenarios that happen or skits or anything like that?
It's more so just like smoking and the vibe that's around. Like we capture everything that's around. Feel me?
You know what remind me of Jordan Lucas. You know, in that sense, because if you saw his
Boston.
If you saw his Devil's Work 2 music video.
I don't listen to him like that, but I've heard a lot about him.
He's really good. If you check out his video, it would be exactly like you because he's like sitting in a living room and he's smoking and talking about all these artists who have passed away, and he's just being real and authentic, you know, talking to God. And it was just a really cool, well put together video.
I think I did see a music video of his. Was it? Is there one where you got like the black cop scenario or some shit, and like they're sitting like in an investigation room?
Yeah,
or some shit? I think I seen that video. Yeah. That video was fire. Oh
God, snitch.
Yeah, that video was fire. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, so he puts together a lot of cool music like that, and that's what I get the vibe from you, like that kind of same real authentic vibe, and just having a conversation with your audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because a lot of, like you said, rappers who are up and coming, just stars who are up and coming in general, like artists, they're flashy, they want to show what they have, but they don't talk to the audience. You have that more direction, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's like, I don't want to be flashy. That's one thing I learned. Like, I always seen like the lowest, this is one thing, this is a quote that I've seen. I want to say I've seen this in Snowfall, and this shit really like stuck with me. The lowest plane wins.
The lowest plane
wins. Like the one that doesn't fly too high and on the radar and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not on the radar like that and you're still making your moves, you know what I'm saying? And they see you and they could, you know, connect with you. You win it.
It's so funny. I saw a quote that was kind of similar to that, but like in the sense of money, it's like being rich but not famous is the best life ever.
Yeah.
Because it's like one really does in a lot of ways go in the other, because you are in a lot of circles and groups and people see you at this event or see you here, especially as a performer. You know what I mean? It's like that's kind of the lifestyle you take on. And a lot of people are like, oh, I want to be rich, I want fame. It's like, would you even be able to handle it?
Yeah. And I said this in Fumble. If you haven't listened to Fumble, go tune into it on Konnoisseur Kev0o. It's the second or third to last song on the album. I said, fuck the fame. To me, that shit is not important. Like, it's not. It's really not.
Right.
Like, the goal, this is my personal goal. The goal is to get what you gotta get. Make sure you can handle everything at the end of the day, and live your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's nothing more to it. Like, as long this is something that I've always been told since a little kid. As long as you handle your shit, you can do what the fuck you want.
100%.
And that's how I done shit ever since a little kid.
That's it was funny. I was kind of looking at another quote that was similar to what you said, but it was about like potential. It's like most people aren't afraid of failure. They're afraid of what they're capable of doing. You know, and I think a lot of people are afraid of like that climb. You know, I like how you're embracing it. You're like, listen, you know, I know what comes with it. I understand that, like, you know, more people. Well, Biggie said more money, more problems, but more people, more problems in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
But don't let that discourage you from doing what you want to do and making the impact you think you can make.
It's not.
You talk to people like that. You know that about your music, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
talk to people like that.
Yes, sir.
And I like that. The few music videos I did see of yours when I was checking you out, when I was listening to your music, because I only primarily listen. I don't watch videos that often. Checked out a few of yours. Like I said, you have that Joyner Lucas setup where you're talking to the camera and you're having a conversation. I feel like I'm with you. You know what I mean? And that's cool.
Like, I also want you to be that person, like, well, especially, like, when you're in the mirror listening to this shit, like, and you spitting, I want you to be that person that's actually spitting, because I'm trying to give you that perspective as in, you are the person in my shoes. Like, I want you to believe in yourself as much as I believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? So you can keep pushing. I can keep pushing. Like,
all about leveling up and going up.
yes, sir. It's never plateaued out here.
No.
Can't be.
No such thing. Especially, it's like we sleep like a third of our life. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
we don't got a lot of time. We don't got as much time as we think we do. You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
I noticed that too. Like, when you're a kid, like, time goes slow. But
yeah.
like, when you're an adult, don't look at your phone for, like, do what you gotta do and don't look at your phone. Then after you're done doing what you gotta do, look at your phone and look how fast the time went.
It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like, the fuck? It was just Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, that is crazy that you said that, because I was thinking about that. Like, when I was in second grade, I'm like, man, I can't wait until, you know, I'm in fifth grade. I can't wait until I'm in middle school. Can't wait until I'm in high school. No, when I'm playing, I'm telling you, I was really like,
Hey, yo, that's so funny.
And it was really taking its time, bro. And then I did the whole COVID graduation. So, like, we had, like, a junior and a senior prom. But I didn't see the point in that. I was like, fuck junior prom. And then COVID hit senior year.
Oh, so you were in COVID? Oh, man.
Yeah.
I graduated 2016, so
Oh, really?
I got to, experience all that stuff. So, but my sister went through all that, the COVID year for high school and whatnot. I was like, damn. Like, she had a graduation where, like, we had to pull up in the cars type shit. Like,
yeah, that was exactly what we did.
I was like, damn.
That's so weird.
Yeah, like, but I guess that's how it was. So
during quarantine, what were you up to? Were you just making music and
making music, working.
Where were you working at the time?
I was doing receiving, unloading trucks and taking care of vendors and shit.
Gotcha.
And I actually dipped out of that recently, and I got a new job merchandising. So I'm packing out on shelves and whatnot. I'm a vendor now. I'm on the other side of the door.
Do you like? Was that like a decision you made for like money, or was it like just
overall everything? Like, I was like, fuck this, like, because y'all want me to do extra shit, but y'all not paying me extra money. So why the fuck would I do this?
Dude, I'm telling you, Connecticut in general is probably one of the most expensive states. Has to be. Connecticut, California, southern states generally speaking.
We're such a small fucking state. Like, what?
Did you know in South Carolina, bro, minimum wage is like $7.75 or some shit? Or like $8.15. What the fuck is that, bro? You can buy a house out there for like $40.
Yeah,
I'm telling
that's
you.
the only thing. Like, their property is hella cheap. Like, I was talking to one of these Pepsi vendors and shit, and he was like, "Yo, bro, I was living in Texas, and bro, I was merchandising the same way I was up here, and I had a whole crib and all this shit, bro." I was like, "For real?"
Yeah.
It's like, damn. Like,
yeah, and then like a 1-bedroom apartment up in Connecticut is like $1,500. It's like, oh wow, affordable. You know what I mean? Like, but. So it's like, it goes along with that, like, no matter how much money you make, especially when you're younger, it's like, as fast as you make it, you blow it. But, like, I feel like if you invest it in yourself, like, most people will invest...
You just gotta be smart.
Yeah, everything in themselves but money. You know what I mean? And it's like, you have to, in a sense, invest some money into yourself, you know what I mean? To, like, have studio time. How does your studio set up? You have to, if you don't mind me asking.
Well, shout out to Flo. We got Dream Killer Records, we got a whole studio, like, headquarters, you know what I'm saying? So, like, we got a couple studios in there.
Oh, shit.
So, like, I got my set days where I go and I record and whatnot, so.
Dream Studio Records.
Dream Killers.
Dream Killers Records.
Yes, Dream Killer Records.
I do remember I shouted them out because, like, I thought that, I saw your music, too. Are they based primarily in New Britain?
New Haven.
New Haven.
Yeah.
Okay, so you drive all the way down to New Haven?
Yeah, so... crazy story about my life. So I'm from Bridgeport, but I went to school in New Haven.
Oh shit!
So I went out there in New Haven and I knew a couple people, and I also played football in West Haven. So I knew everybody in the midst of everything.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So,
you guys all met in Middletown, like.
Nah, we all. It was just crazy. Like I knew certain people, and these people knew these people. So I was like, all right, this is dope.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I got older, and then, Flo reached out to me in like 2018, 2019, bro. 2019. And
2019.
we just locked in ever since.
And that's when. So he was the one that got you into Dream Killers.
Yeah, because he's the guy.
Dude, you awesome. Dude, it's cool to meet
Shout
you,
out to
man.
bro.
Shout out to for studio time in general, like how long do you usually spend there?
Like 4 or 5 hours.
A day?
No, not every day. I got my set days. Like I'll go like, for example, like I'll go like on a Wednesday or like a Friday. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'll let them know like the day before, like, yo, I'm coming through this day. Like, I bet, just let me know. Or, yeah. So
If you go like twice a week, do you have like a process? Like I'm gonna write everything down and then do some of it on Tuesday and do the rest of it on Friday, kind of deal, or?
it's all on like feeling basically. Like if I got something that's already prepped, I'm down to do it. Like it's all on how I feel. Like I'll fuck around and, oh bro, I want to write this real quick. Let me write this down. We about to record this.
Do you carry a pad with you?
I do it all on the phone or it's all in the head. Like,
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, man. It's all on how I feel.
Right. Right. Well, like that's what I was like thinking. Like a lot of artists kind of like they walk around and they notice things and then they take notes of what they see and stuff like that, or what they like a commercial that they saw or something.
Yeah, I do shit like that.
Like,
I do shit like that.
a lot of artists kind of find inspiration from that, which is cool because it's like you're observing your whole like.
Or like I'll fuck around, I'll be nodding off, and I'll have something in my head, and I'll wake up real quick, and I'll be writing it real quick.
Oh really? 3 a.m. He's like, I gotta get it.
Yeah, like it'd be like that sometimes.
Right. That's awesome, man. Like it's good that you have a system kind of put in place, but you're also more casual to it in that sense. Because people, I feel like, have you ever seen like an artist that's so like niche tight about what they're doing that they're kind of like disorganized? If that makes sense, they'll never put it out because they want to keep on procrastinating.
Yeah, but I feel like you gotta just drop it, man. You
Yeah.
gotta give it to the people, and you gotta also like you gotta see your growth. Like you gotta show your growth, because if motherfuckers don't see how you're working and how you're blooming and growing, what are you doing? So that's how I see it.
2024, my man. What can we expect from you?
Singles. We're gonna have a lot of singles. Possibly an EP. End of the year. Definitely dropping an album.
Yes, sir.
Videos. A lot of shows coming up. Yeah, a lot of content.
When's your next show come out?
Next show, I'm gonna do the plug and play this Wednesday. I don't know if you ever heard of Warehouse 860.
Warehouse is no. Where is
Yeah,
that?
it's in Hartford.
Okay.
It's like literally on like the edge of Hartford. It's pretty cool.
Plug and play.
Yeah, it's on Wednesdays. They have like bingo nights and shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I saw a video on Instagram of you performing live. How was that?
It was dope, bro. It's a whole network thing. Like, so you can pull up yourself if you want. Like,
really?
Just talk to mad artists and shit. You got a podcast and
That'd be sick because I've been wanting to do that for a while. Like, go around to these different places and just interview artists that are like doing a show, whether it's stand-up comedians or musicians and stuff like that. And I think that helps not only, like you said, link and network everybody together, but that can kind of show like little glimpses into, these artists and why they're coming up and what we're trying to build here, especially in Connecticut, which is not a lot of people understand how talented a lot of the people in Connecticut are.
A lot of talent.
There's not like that Connecticut, platform. You know what I mean? Like you have CT Makes Music, which shout out CT Makes Music because they're super dope, and them and the podcast connect a lot. Oh, wow. And when they put me on the story, I'm pretty sure that's how you saw me. That's how you caught. I
say so, yeah.
Yeah, and when he put me on, I had a couple other people, and so since then we've been connecting and everything. And I was talking to them, I was like, so much talent is in Connecticut that is like underrated. Probably because we're so close to New York too. You know what I mean? It's kind of like New
York,
Massachusetts, yeah. So. But Connecticut definitely has a lot of cool talent, and you're on the come up, man. I'm very excited to see where you're going and everything like that, man.
Thank you, bro. And I appreciate that, man.
I was gonna say I've had an awesome time talking to you. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
give a big shout out to Dream Killer Records. I want to give a big shout out to Believe in Your Storm. I want to give a shout out to my brothers, Smooth Fuego, Ace Boogie, Dewey, Angelo, and everybody in my family. Love y'all niggas, man. We about to go up 2024. Let's manifest it.
Konnoisseur.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Konnoisseur Kev0o here. I appreciate talking to you, my man. Shout out to all those guys. I'm gonna have his. You have I believe like a link in your Instagram.
Yeah, my link tree.
Yeah, that's what it was called. That's what I almost called it Tree Link, but I'm like, if I say that, that's gonna sound wild. Okay, I'm gonna put his link tree down in the bio. His Instagram's also gonna be down in the bio. Please check him out. You have one of the most upcoming artists in Connecticut. There's second to none. So I appreciate having the time with you and everything, and super fucking dope.
Thank you, bro.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro.
Yes, sir.
It means the world.